All right, we've got the last match for the evening, the singles between Billy Thorpe and Maksim Dudanets. And we are here once again with you, Mikhail Kablukov, Jeremy Jones, and this time we're joined by Alex Boruchovich. Hello, Alex.
Hello, everybody. And hello, Jeremy.
Hello, Alex.
This is a lot of fun. This is second annual event. I was here last year, and this year I think I like it even better. The atmosphere is just perfect here.
And much more preparation was involved, I think so.
Yes, yes. I'm very impressed. Vladimir and the rest of the crew put a lot of work into this, and we in the United States for the past months have been promoting this event, and people were anticipating. Originally it was supposed to be a pay-per-view, but thanks to Vladimir and his efforts, this is a free event, and this is just a treat. I absolutely love it, and it is actually an honor to be sitting next to Jeremy and in the same booth and doing a little bit of commentary. We have a lot of fans and a lot of pool lovers that just waiting for the shot to finish.
Yeah, we've just seen Maksim Dudanets being short with his banker to the side.
Yeah.
And I think he's left Billy a little edge, and thank you very much, Alex, for the compliments.
Yeah, I know whenever there are tournaments in the United States and players see your name next to theirs in the next match, they are not happy. They say, we have work to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. I respect your game a lot.
Well, thank you.
Billy played it well.
He's going to need a friendly bump here, and he got it. Now, position on the 5 is going to be pretty dicey, though. Now, Billy played really well in the opening doubles match here tonight on day 2, and he's had a little time between that match. I don't think it'll affect him much. It shouldn't, but...
Well, actually, I think I've seen some comments on the chat recently that Billy is the second player, probably after Shane, in terms of being that solid and to carry the team on these days.
Well, you know, there's nothing wrong with that comment, that's for sure, and he's displayed it here tonight. And he's a player that is young, he's eager, and the one thing I like about Billy is he's very conscious that he still needs to improve. So.
Yeah, I like his energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a lot of skill.
Yeah, he's got a big upside.
He could go 3 rails on this. If he could go forward,
he may
with
double
the
kiss.
spin.
Play the double kiss off the 6 right here.
Yeah, just
with a little draw English.
That's also. Yeah.
Okay, he's got to hope. Ooh.
Could be worse.
One of the secrets of the game, actually, for the amateurs is that sometimes you can use the object balls as if they were rails, just to rebound off.
Yeah, and it takes a little experience, meaning you have to gain a little bit of knowledge on what's going to happen and how the balls react.
Yeah, I mean, even if the object ball is in the open, you still can try to draw off it, actually.
Yeah, Billy's going to go after this cut because the 6-8 combination is very playable.
And 6 is quite open. I still like that originally shot where you barely touch the 6 ball, go forward, and come out on the right side of the 5. But you know, player has to feel comfortable.
I overcut this one
with the shot,
right?
And they have to know what in their mind is going to happen as a result. So. We'll see if Max can realize this opportunity.
Now, Alex, you live in New York, right? Is
that
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Our home base is Stuyvesant Billiards, and in a couple of places in Brooklyn, Skyline and Gotham. There are also you know, Tony Robles runs a lot of good tournaments in New York, and our man Upstate Al is the eye in the sky. He is the man. I do a lot of
live
tournaments
streaming
with him. Live streaming. So Max realized this advantage on the table.
Alex, I know you happen to know Maksim Dudanets pretty well.
Yeah, I noticed Max's game when he came for one of the, I think Derby 2015, and he came with 7 or 8 other Russian players.
Oh wow!
And I looked at his game, and I looked at his demeanor and the way he, you know, carries himself, and respect to the game and to the players and everybody. And I thought he was a very good candidate to be sponsored, and so I've been doing some work with him for some tournaments. The thing with Russian players is that they have to participate in a lot of tournaments in Russia and Europe in order to gain points.
Right.
Okay, so in order for the Russian Federation to send them to important European championships, they have to participate in the, what is it, Russian, what's the coming up tournament?
The Russian nationals, I think.
Yeah. So without that, the Federation will not send them
abroad.
Yeah, the nationals are like a kind of a qualification for the European championships, which is pretty important. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Billy managed to come up.
He did really well on those too, right? Max did.
Yeah.
Third. Is that right?
Yes. He was third once again.
At a young age.
Before he played at the junior level, and like last year, he finished third in 9-ball.
We got a little slight double kiss right there. It looks like it's still going to turn out just fine.
He's gonna see it.
Billy was lucky to have a successful break to come up with.
I'm not sure he can get at this. It looks like he's going to have to kick by the 7 with a little draw English. One thing about this type of kick, a lot of times you hit it, you have a good chance of making it. Well, that's going to work out just fine.
Yeah, that's a good safety. I think Billy can just barely see the right side of the 1-ball.
Yeah, he's grabbing the jump.
It's a jumpable.
Well, if he can see a little piece of it, he may be able to send the 1 down and put him behind the 7. So,
or maybe even behind the 6.
Maybe.
If the cut is that thin.
The thing with the jump cue, you don't always know where a cue ball is going to wind up.
Absolutely. These guys these days are pretty incredible with it, but you're right about that. And especially on the dry conditions with the slick cloth, the ball gets away from you a little more. And it jumps easier, too.
I think he got away with it, but he can play a nice safety, just sending cue ball behind that group of 2-3-8.
Oh, I even think he can just try to dig that 1-ball behind that group.
Yeah, and send the cue ball up table behind the 6, maybe. Yeah,
that's like that.
He left him a piece, though.
Yeah,
he left him, and that was a little bit of a mistake.
You actually have to aim at the ball to play like a combo save. But now he has a shot.
Yeah. Oh, some early safety battle going on.
And he'll use the 3 to slow the cue ball down here, I believe, unless he tries to play the 3. He might play the 3. But he could hit it lightly and use the 3 to slow the cue ball down and send the 1 behind the 5, like so.
Well, nice he played it 2-way.
Yeah, great shot. Man, that's really tough. He's going to have to come to the bottom rail here.
Well, there's a pretty easy response. I see a 2-rail kick.
Yeah, it's a 2-rail kick. Just have to.
Just he is using one of the easiest systems out there for 2-rail kicks, like kind of a split the angle.
Right. One thing is the bend of the cue ball. He's hitting high on the cue ball, and that's what I didn't like. That's what he had to dig down on the cue ball there. You have to That's a little experience realizing how slick the cloth is. That's that bend of the cue ball that you're not prepared for.
At the same time, he might have hit it too hard.
A little bit, yeah. I think with the see the one and coming to the bottom rail, the one and the cue ball are coming up together. So I think that was more of one he needed to go ahead and dig down and hit hard and hope for a little bit of luck. Now Billy, I think, has got to play a short side position on the 2. So he's got to put a little check on the cue ball, make sure it doesn't fall down and like bump the 2. The bump's going to be okay. The bump might work out, but yeah.
Yeah, just after he called it, he performed the way you predicted.
Yeah, well, the guys don't realize that little bit of Czech English doesn't quite take on this type of table. So.
And that buzzer sound of the shot clock, I think, also just forced him
a little bit
with his shot. Yeah.
You tried these tables. They're the closest, but still pretty new.
Oh, it's just put on yesterday. So, and it's not. I don't think it's really gonna ever get broke in during our event here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's way short. So Billy's rhythm. He's playing at a fast pace. He's got to get a little control of the clock now. He's got plenty of time.
I think he's okay.
This is tough, though. His speed's got to be crucial.
Wow.
Watch out the scratch, and I think it's the first time we see Billy missing the thin cut.
Yeah. I saw today earlier he made a beautiful thin cut shot.
Yeah, and do you remember his cut from yesterday?
Yes.
The 6 was on the rail, and
it was like four rails after that.
Well, they're all humans.
That's for sure.
Yes. Except some. There are a couple of players that I don't think
doesn't seem like it.
Like Arcolo, like Shane.
Or the guy nicknamed the Terminator for a reason.
Yes.
Obviously Niels Fine, he's won the Kremlin Cup.
Yeah. He played one of the best tournaments.
Yeah, nice to see Niels hitting form.
Yeah, he was injured, or he had back elbow problem.
Yeah, he called this a tennis elbow.
And I think at just first glance here, the first 2 games, that Billy's pace has picked up a lot more than it was in the first match today. He needs to settle himself.
You think he's rushing a little bit?
Yeah.
Just
a little
to
bit,
slow down.
Yeah, this is a kind of concern Jeremy was talking about. Just Billy sitting over there and just might have been getting frozen or just out of stroke just a little bit.
Well, that and some tension built with some losses the Americans took, I'm sure. So, but that's what he's here for, to have pressure applied. And but yeah, if I could get in his ear right now and say, hey, just, relax a little bit. And you got to understand that the tension's going to be there anyway. So you have to actually get a little, like they say in all sports, get to where you have everything slowed down even more. Oh, big mistake at 2-0 though. And the first time we've seen that.
Yes, that's the first time so far.
Yeah,
Pupil leaves the table.
He missed the rack by quite a ways. So I talked about it yesterday, Michael, that there's nothing like ball in hand to bring your opponent
back to the track.
Back from the dead a little bit, as far as after making a few mistakes. We're in no hurry here, Billy. Just take your time. Yeah, and that's what he needs to do. Just go look. Even though he's not going to change his mind about much, but just get the pace of play under control a little more.
So the 5 is available to the right side pocket, and just keep a nice angle on that one to go between the 8 and the 9, probably for the 6.
Yeah, and even if he falls a little full, it's okay. He can follow past the 5 and play the 6 in the upper left. So he's got options. The main thing is here, not too much angle, but not straight in either. So
I like it. I like the 5 in the side better.
Yeah. and then he'll just
Shortest distance to travel,
and
especially if you have a couple of missed shots or missed positions.
he'll stun the cue ball. Oh no, he's got a little more angle, so he may draw by the 9 here. Oh, he's rolling forward. Okay.
There is
just,
room.
looks like a natural roll.
Yeah.
Just cheated the pocket quite a little.
Now everything is open.
One thing fundamentally that Johan and I have talked about as far as Billy's concerned is you'll see sometimes with his pre-strokes he builds up speed and doesn't really have that pause at the cue ball. And he's worked on it, but it's easy to forget to go back. And so you get a little overamped because of the situation, and now you're building up a little too much speed with your pre-strokes. Well, sometimes causes a problem.
Well, they say that your pre-stroke has to be the same speed that the shot that you're planning to shoot.
Well, it's not going to be forward, but the backswing, yeah.
The backstroke, yeah.
The pre-stroke should be the
Actually,
same as the backswing or similar, but it definitely shouldn't be gaining. It shouldn't be gaining momentum. Is the point.
Well, Jeremy has just made a very nice point that you guys sometimes probably need to videotape your games. Unless you have some skilled instructor nearby just to give you an advice of this, because I think there is no way you can find out this kind of mistakes yourself.
Right, it's very hard to, and it's very easy to do that, to get quicker and quicker and quicker.
But as long as you have
as
long as you have an opportunity just to take a look at yourself from the side, maybe just if you have a camera in the pool hall during your tournament games, or better, you filming your practice.
We all have a camera these days.
Yeah.
And actually a pretty darn good one.
You're supposed to have a tripod also for this one.
Right,
which is might not be as easy to find.
Right. A selfie stick. I've seen people use a selfie stick before, but Billy is an energetic player, so he has to remind himself at times. Okay.
Once again, nothing found gravity.
But it is all a part of becoming a more and more mature player.
Absolutely.
Where you can actually go back and analyze your game. How did you perform? What mistakes did I make? What good shots I made to put that into a good part of the storage.
Right. But those extra eyes are huge in sports.
Yeah.
Every sport these days, they all have someone watching them, trying to improve. That's a good speed there.
Yeah, that's a good safety. Well, actually, in the past, I was amazed that even the top pros, with time, they just tend to work some mistakes, like some little drawbacks tend to crawl into their game. Like here or there, and all they need to do is once again work on fundamentals. Actually.
Oh, absolutely. It's the simple stuff that usually costs you.
Do not take this game for granted. This is it's a great game, but it's also a cruel game. It doesn't tolerate mistakes or impatience or disrespect. You have to respect the game and work it.
A nice flush hit.
Two-rail kick, and he's going to make one.
What a shot. What a shot. This was
well, didn't get anything easy here.
No, he's got
but he has a shot. He is on the table. He's shooting.
Well,
yeah, that's true.
He has a chance.
He could float the cue ball behind the 5, maybe sending the 2 down table, or clipping the 2 actually and floating behind the 5.
He's going for the shot.
Better.
Watch it.
He's just going to roll it in and take the shot on the 3.
Yeah, because ideally, I mean.
Oh, nice hit there.
You see, he has a tough shot on the 3. It's not a gimme.
Do you favor a bank here?
No, I like cutting this ball in. Running the ball down the side rail is not tough on these tables. You have a lot of room for error as far as the pocket. And the 4 is pretty easy as far as position back and forth.
I mean, he's got a whole 3 diamonds to travel for the 3 ball, and the cut angle is pretty severe.
But
yeah,
the thing is that
I like
he just needs to focus on the speed of the cue ball. because
He hit it thick.
he didn't sell the farm.
But if
It's a tough shot.
I know on these types of shots, you are advised to cut it on the thin side a little bit.
yeah, he just caught it a little thick, and I'm not much on the thin side kind of thing. I think it's just whatever you think is correct to make the ball.
Yeah, I mean,
so-
just try to cut it thinner than it looks like.
right, maybe so.
But also take extra time on these shots.
Very
Look at
wise
it.
shot from Dudanets
Yeah.
here, just using the six.
And he really planted the cue ball in a tough spot for Billy. Billy may have, I don't know.
He cut off the bank, right?
He should play, I think, like 3 rails.
Yeah, this is tough.
Really?
This is very, very tough.
Yeah. I'm very impressed with it. This was a very mature shot, the safety.
Yeah, that's for sure. So right now, just play it towards the corner pocket, but just
Yeah, but if
try
you-
to make it like short a little bit.
Yeah, but
Watch it.
wow.
Oh,
Wow.
about that?
That's
Wow.
amazing. That's amazing.
Don't forget something. Billy knows the rails very well. He plays banks, he plays one pocket.
Going right by the 9. Wow.
Well,
That
That
was
was
a
a
pretty
beautiful
challenging
shot.
shot. Just
Oh,
going
absolutely.
past that 9 ball.
That's a beautiful shot.
He took the risk and just
Yeah.
he was granted with a very nice outcome.
This may be like the best shot of the day.
And even it might be the match turning point.
Could be. Oh, cue ball. Wow, and he's still a little jumpy with the stroke though. If
Just
you just
don't-
watch the pre-strokes. That's
just-
what you have to watch.
Just don't overdraw this now.
Well, he's got a little angle to cheat the pocket, I think, but still, he's so close to it.
He's gonna, he doesn't
He's
need
going to come
jack
short
out
side.
on
He's
this?
coming short side on the 7.
That's perfectly all right.
Well,
Should be
Jeremy, I
okay.
think that's pressure building up on Billy.
And he's got to put a little right spin on this, so this makes this delicate. I don't think he can go into the edge of the 8. That would be nice if he could. So he's got to cue it with a little bit of right. Nice shot.
Billy's quite a fighter.
Now, if you want the right English to check floating down the table here, this is where it's got to be a little lighter speed. Oh my. Oh my. That's not going to be any good, is it? Oof.
Oh, but the cut is on.
This is a lot thinner than you think.
There's a shot. There's a shot.
The cue ball is going to have a lot of speed on it.
Yeah, probably drifting towards the same pocket he is driving the 9 to.
He's banking it.
He's banking to the side, cross side.
Yeah.
Is he really?
I think he was a little frustrated that he didn't get position.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna play, if he didn't believe in that cut shot, to just play a nice safety, put the cue
no.
ball
Yeah.
on the
Well,
on the rail.
I assume he didn't have a plan for position on the 9 because just if you decided you play 2 rails, just
We got to be more firm.
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
I think a lighter speed was the correct
You
way.
stroke it
actually.
harder, and that's it.
Wow. Mark showed some skill.
Yeah, he made a
I
nice
love
shot
it.
on the 9 there.
But you know what? I love that the 2 young players like this can show this kind of pool, this kind of competition. Yeah, not everything works out. Yeah, I understand. But this is a 9 ball, and coming up with a good shot in the very tough position.
Oh yeah, that 9 wasn't easy at all.
Yeah.
Well, that must be a big disappointment for Billy losing the rack. He
Yeah,
just
after
made all the
incredible
tough work.
shot on the 3.
Yeah, he made all the tough work and just had almost all the job done. And then
And really would have maybe thrown a little bit of a mental blow to his opponent after kicking the 3.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
If he gets out right
Yeah.
there.
yeah, so now instead of being equal, he's 2 racks down.
And quite possibly could be 3 racks down without getting to shoot. So.
Well, there is no shot on the one.
Well,
I don't think the bank is on.
I think he'll cut it in the side.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Maybe
so.
I'm looking at the wrong angle.
I know it's thin, but
It's not an easy shot.
No, but
Cue ball is gonna run, and it's gonna separate.
he's going to put him on
ball.
the 5, I guess. He's going to put him behind the 7-9 and all that.
Nice call, Jeremy, once again.
Yeah. He's got a nice 2-rail kick to the back of the 1, though, to where he may make it in the side, or he could send it possibly by them balls.
Isn't the 2 blocking the 2-rail kick? Oh,
Um,
I mean the other way around.
yeah, by the 7-9 in between the 8-7.
Yeah, I was looking just going from the left side.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he's swerving this ball. Okay, now this is another shot on the slick table. You really have to cue well, or it doesn't curve near as much as you think. Doesn't grab. Oh, he overcut it. Now is he going to get a roll?
Exactly because of what you said.
And just behind the 8.
Yeah, but the 1's over the pocket, so you know he's at a disadvantage, even though he's got the snooker.
But it's on the wrong side of the pocket. So coming off the rail, it's gonna have to cut it real thin. So, oh, he's jumping it. Okay. I forget. I don't like using jump cue in general for my game.
We have discussed this before, and neither me nor Jeremy are very fond of jump cues as well.
Yeah.
So welcome to our company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I learned how to play safe a certain way to where you don't actually try to freeze the guy to the ball a lot of times, because you cut off rails, leaving him on the rail when you snooker him. If that makes any sense.
Okay,
Instead of coming up on the ball, you leave that rail cut off by leaving him on the rail. But these days, that's a different. You can't think that way.
Yeah.
The game's evolved, though.
Good old days.
Right?
Well, when you started, Jeremy, people were jumping with the full cue.
Yes. And no, there were jump cues, but it wasn't, the technology wasn't quite, so much. Rick, ooh. Wow.
That's a blooper.
Yeah, that's very similar to the 9-ball he missed in day 1, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
In the
When
team
he
match, I
lost.
believe.
Yes, he lost that.
Wow, that was a big one there.
That was rushing the shot. He did not really.
Oh,
He doesn't seem too disturbed, though, huh?
He just
No,
lost
no,
focus
no.
just for a tiny second.
Well, another reason to learn something. Max is very critical of his game and works on it a lot. So
Is he 19 or 20? What is he?
19.
19.
Yes, time, right? Yes, time yet.
Well,
When-
he is 20 actually.
20.
Yeah, he is 20 already.
Oh, that's right. September. Yes, he just had his birthday.
Yeah,
September.
maybe last
7
week.
or
Last
8.
week, or yeah.
There we are.
Hello, everybody, again. We're in Moscow, in
Bazaar.
probably one of the most modern pool clubs I've ever seen.
Well, if you like cue sports, you can definitely get to play whatever you like here.
Yeah.
You have you 2 great snooker tables, a 3-cushion table, probably
A dozen.
15 diamonds, maybe 12 diamonds.
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
probably 15 diamonds.
Probably eight
I
or-
think,
eight or
I
nine.
bunch
think
of
about,
Russian
about
ones.
16, I think.
Yeah, and then
16 pool
probably
tables, like 12
8 pyramid tables, maybe.
12 tables for pyramid,
Yeah,
4 snooker
wow.
tables, and 1 3-cushion.
Sorry, guys, no bar tables.
Hey, the golden break, as they say.
The second of our match.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. It's 9-ball.
Well, that's when you make a mistake on an easy shot like that 7-ball. That was almost customary back whenever we used to gamble a lot when I was younger.
You
Yeah,
miss
we're going
one,
to
you
have
lose
a
2.
replay
That's right.
of the break.
Watch the 7-ball.
Yeah, the 9 got kicked by the 7. I've got the power.
And now
Just
Max has got to be feeling the pressure, right?
loading his break you once again.
9-ball is break is 50% of success.
Yeah.
Actually, any game right now.
You see,
Probably.
One pocket is like 90%.
well,
No. The most important shot in one pocket is the shot after the break, not the shot of the break.
but you know what?
The most effective shot, I mean.
I
Is
think
it-
that is what I learned from instructional by Alan Hopkins. By the way, Jeremy, I think I heard you are an instructor, a pool teacher as well.
Yes.
Back at home. So are you going to come up with any kind of instructional video?
Possibly videos. I have some other ideas that
Yeah, because I think you could just try to make the digital version and just to promote it online. And,
Right. No, I have.
Given your
I have
knowledge,
to
I
come up
think,
with a lot more literature because I have my own ideas about some things. But yeah, that's the ultimate goal.
Well, we will be looking forward to that, and please keep us informed.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work to write a book on pool for anybody. It's a tremendous work, and I wish you success.
Well, thank you. I not so much a book. I mean, the pool gods have turned. I tell you that after that missed 7-ball.
Definitely, yeah.
7 is a lucky number if you make it.
Well, in some countries it is just the opposite.
What countries?
Maybe Japan, I'm not sure, but just yeah, 7 is a damned number.
In
actually.
Japan, they write in what is it called?
I know they fear of the
Cleaner-
four number.
cleaner
actually.
piece.
Yeah, the number 4 is just goes the same as death in Japan, in Japanese. So just yeah.
Okay, big turn of events here and a big 3-ball down the rail. It's not really down the rail, but to the upper pocket. So
I think Billy can smell blood in
Yeah.
the water.
now, if you kind of watch, it's just more the cue stick kind of never stops. It never has that hesitation. That's what Johan's been working on the most with Billy, and something that it's not a fix-all, the pause at the cue stick, but I think it is a must.
Oh well, you know, I've
But
been.
there, if you look at the landscape of players in the United States, there's not that many players that actually use that technique. So it's not
But
very
look at the
common.
best players, though.
Yeah, I've been watching some of the Filipinos recently, like say Carlo Biado, and they almost freeze at the cue ball actually.
Yeah,
Just-
well,
yeah,
look
without any
look at all
freezing
your top
strokes
Russian
at
players.
all,
They
yeah.
do the same.
Ruslan, take
Like,
Ruslan, yeah.
Yeah, but the pause is a very personal thing, meaning it's not going to be the same amount of pause for everybody, but there has to be something there. So it's kind of like golf, you know, before
Alex
the ball's hit.
Pagulayan,
Yeah,
absolutely, he
Oh, yeah.
stops on top.
yeah, everybody does. The pause in the back, I don't think is something you have to have, but the pause at the cue ball, I think it's definitely
I
something.
second that. Yeah, I don't like the pause in the back either.
Well, I'm not saying it's horrible. I just don't think it's definitely something you have to have, like the pause.
it's-
at the
it's
cue
not
ball.
required,
So,
yeah.
Like the pause at the cue ball just brings you together for the last stroke.
Yeah.
So. And there are some really great. There's so much talent. That's the thing. They get away with it because they're so talented. But whenever the tension gets high, the stroke gets faster automatically for everyone. So you have that kind of helps kind of bring everything together.
Well, the pause you're talking about, Jeremy, is kind of a point of no return,
Right.
where all systems checked and just the very final time to ask yourself, and maybe if your second voice inside just tells you that something is wrong, it's probably just proper time to walk out of the shot and just start over again with your pre-shot routine.
And if we looked at every athletic motion in sports, I can show you a pause in each one of them. Whether it be golf, they waggle, 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 then they come set. That's their pause. Throwing a ball,
Okay.
shooting a basketball. Every one of them has a slight pause before the last motion. So at least when properly done.
Or like javelin throwing.
Well, I don't know about all those, but you know, those are a little different.
With
maybe.
javelin is probably in javelin, discus, and the hammer. It's a little different. They're making sure that all the referees are out of the way.
Well, this is the reason they're throwing out of a cage, you know.
Still a big turn of events now. Billy's broke dry, and he's left Max no shot.
A rollout here.
Yeah, and a tough rollout as well. So.
Yeah, because one is so close to the pocket. Do you think he can cut it from there?
Well, this is where you bank the one just to the left side of this. Well, no, now looking at second guess, but I think he can still do it. I would put the one on the left side rail, trying to use the 6 as a snooker and let the cue ball run into the 7 as to hold the cue ball.
Yeah, using the 6 as a blocker is my idea as well.
Right. It's a delicate shot, but you have a lot of room for error, believe it or not. And your cue ball should hit the 7 and go to the rail, so. Okay, he tried to do it, I think. Or maybe he tried to get the 1 past the 6, possibly. Now he's got to play the 1 off the 4.
There's a chance that
Billy should look at the 1 off the 4
he can
here.
make that shot.
That's a much easier shot than the 1 in the corner.
It's almost perfect but he still has to cut it thin.
He has to cut it thin, but the key is don't overhit it. I don't think you'll miss it as long as you kind of ease it in. He might just be shooting it in the corner. And he is. Great shot.
We have Buddy, the rifleman Hall, mentioned in the chat. Jeremy, do you happen to have played Buddy Hall?
Oh, about 100 times, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've played Buddy a lot.
I've heard
Buddy's beat me a lot.
I've heard he was like.
He's the greatest 9-ball player I ever watched. Now there's been guys that have done as well, but
we didn't have a chance to watch Luther Lasseter, who was like.
That's who Buddy thinks is the greatest 9-ball player.
Yeah.
And Buddy actually says Luther and Earl are the 2 greatest 9-ball players, and Buddy's a modest man, so that's why he didn't probably mention himself. But getting through the rack, I'm not sure I've ever seen a better player than Buddy Hall. You know, as far as. There are some Filipino players that are very similar to Buddy Hall. Like Dennis, he plays very naturally through the rack.
Buddy was fearless.
Well, then he was a great shot maker, too.
Yeah.
And that's another thing about all the great players from years ago. Nick Barners, Alan Hopkins, Mike Siegels. Not only were they great playing the game, but when it came to a tough shot, they could bury it.
Like giving the whole world the 8, yeah.
Yeah, right. Keith? All right, now he can do a couple things here as far as the safety, and that was a pretty bad miss as far as the safety. Oh, he's going to catch the 5. Now, is it going to leave a gap? It is. It is. Now, Billy's came with pretty much all these long, tough ones. We'll see if he can come with another.
I think Billy's now very comfortable with this table, and he can go for these shots.
Well, just roll this in.
Yeah, no, I might lay him behind the 3, behind the 6 here. This is laying pretty nice because you can't squeeze the cue ball between the 6 and the rail. So,
if he makes the 3, I think he is naturally on the 4 ball.
Yeah.
So because he has done a lot of good shots. He just by inertia, he's gonna go for it. Yeah.
Okay, and I think he can come naturally 2 rails in between the 5-8 right here. I think so. I'm pretty sure. Just a little top right English. The key is don't get the 3rd rail here. Just float above the 5. Like so.
Perfect.
Probably the last place you wanted to be, but it still should be okay because he just needs to pull the ball over to the right side of the table, and that'll offer a nice natural couple rail angle to come around for the 8.
That's a comfortable bridging for a right-handed player.
Okay, now he's going to be full on the 7 and have to draw down the table, so a little touchy.
And with the 7 ball being that close to the pocket, it's quite easy to
cheat the pocket.
To cheat the pocket, yeah.
Or to make a mistake, actually.
Oh.
Well,
it's not that close. He has a little bit of angle. He's going to put a little bit inside draw and drift it.
He brought it back one rail.
The other way.
And that cue ball is going to overrun a little bit again, so he may have to go up table, and it appears he does. This is where you get that guaranteed shot. Just come 2 rails right towards that right side pocket with a top right English, catching that 3rd rail. He could draw it as well.
I fancy drawing it.
That's kind of the angle I like coming.
Yes.
But he's well short, that's for sure. And that's what happens when you get a little bit speedy. Your timing gets a little off from here and there.
So this ball, to get things equal, 5 apiece overall. That's it.
And that was just a 7 ball away from the Russians probably winning that match.
Ну что ж, друзья, поаплодируем командам. Счет 5-5.